today. My name is Tyler Sarmiento. I'll be the host for the second annual Hudson County Community College's Lavender graduation. Woo. All right. So again, congratulations to all the students. We have a wonderful program set up for you here today. If we go to the next slide real quick. First off, I want to say we have special guests here with us. We have a keynote speaker, Logan, who will be speaking for us. Just so you guys know a little bit about him. He is a trans actor that is in our community. It's phenomenal to see representation in media and the kind of things that people are able to achieve. So don't let yourself feel down. Strive to do anything that you think is possible. Logan?
Stand up so I can address you correctly. Thank you, Tyler, for inviting me to speak with you all today. And thank you to the Student Life and Leadership Department for making a donation in my name to the Okra Project, which is a nonprofit that offers healthy, delicious, and culturally specific meals to Black trans people in need. I have to admit before I start that I feel a bit silly doing this because I'm only in my first year of college. So all of you have already accomplished more than I have. And I want to congratulate you all for taking this huge step in your life. And I want to congratulate the Student Life and Leadership Department, the college, and all of you for making it all happen during a global pandemic. It's really incredible. For those of you who don't know who I am, which is probably all of you, my name is Logan Spencer Rozos, and I'm an actor, writer, and artist from the tri-state area. I was born in New Jersey, and I live in the Bronx right now, and I'm a gay trans man. I want to start by validating that being part of this community can be really difficult, and that each of you has to overcome barriers, visible and invisible, that your cis and straight classmates can't even conceive of. And every step you take is so much more triumphant than those around you can see because of the histories and systems in this society that don't want you to succeed. So each and every step you take is worthy of celebration. We should, of course, celebrate the big steps like this graduation, when you find love and commitment and stability with a partner, with a community, when you get jobs in your chosen fields, when you take on projects that you're passionate about. All of these are worthy of celebration. But there can be just as much triumph in the small steps. The days you go to class, even though you're tired and it seems like the world is conspiring to break you down, or choosing to take a day off and care for yourself and the people that you love. Even sitting down with your homegirl and watching Pose on Netflix again can be worthy of celebration. It can be so important and so valuable. I want to share a bit about my story, if that's all right. I came out to my family at the age of 15 in the middle of a therapy session, which maybe wasn't great timing. My parents were wonderfully supportive, and my sister actually came out as queer a few years later. So it was basically the best outcome I could have hoped for. And I was still terrified before I came out. I would lay awake at night and wonder if I'd ever work up the courage to tell them. And I would dream about all the things that I hoped to have one day. I could have an honest relationship with the people around me without this huge secret weighing me down. I could have access to affirming healthcare and a legal name change and recognition of my gender from other people. I could have a partner that understood me, that I could introduce to my loved ones. But part of me thought this would always be a dream. Even with the love of my family and with other queer and trans friends, I still didn't feel secure in my future. I didn't know people who were like me, who were thriving adults, who were growing old, who had love and purpose and family and places to call their own. I didn't see relationships that looks like the kind of relationships I would be in. There were a few pieces of positive representation in the media, hidden amongst other representations that were caricatures that fetishized or mocked or degraded my identities. And I tried to cobble together a vision of my future from these scattered pieces, but it was hard. I was also in high school and I had access to the internet, so I knew what the society I lived in thought of people like me. There were people who made their opinions on the matter very clear. I knew that there were people who would rather forget that I existed. They would rather push us out of public life than deal with people and bodies and communities that don't look like theirs. And every law about bathrooms or trans people's participation in sports or gay adoptions or a gay couple's right to buy a wedding cake is about just that. It's about pushing us from public and visible places and forcing us into the shadows, into lives that are small and secretive and dark. by early 2018, things were not looking so great for me. I got held back in math. I hated my school. I had broken up with my first boyfriend, who was another trans man, because neither of us were in a mental place to be in a healthy relationship. And Trump was president. Things were not looking up. But at the same time, I found something I was really passionate about, which was acting. And in many ways, it saved me from giving up completely. I joined an acting class, and by the end of 2018, I had a role in a TV show. That show is called David Makes Man. It was on the Oprah Winfrey Network. It's also streaming on HBO, cha-ching, if anyone wants to give it a look. But the show's creator was another Black gay man. His name's Terrell McCraney. He was also the co-writer of the film Moonlight. And in the show, I played a queer trans boy who ran away from his birth family and was taken in by a queer community, including a trans feminine sex worker and a genderqueer gay man. And I was actually a queer trans boy, and the actress who played the trans feminine sex worker was actually a trans woman with a history of sex work. And the genderqueer gay man was played by a genderqueer gay man. It was one of the most beautiful experiences I've ever had. My story isn't representative of everyone's. I'm lucky enough to live in New York City, which is steeped in the history of gay liberation. I'm lucky enough to have family and friends who understand and affirm me. And I've just been lucky. If I'd had a bad day, the day that I auditioned for David Makes Man, maybe we'd be having a very different conversation right now. And your story doesn't have to look like mine. I came out to my family in a formal sit down at a young age, but I've met people who came out via email or in a Jamba Juice or not at all, who were very happy. And I've met people who wish they waited, and other people whose biggest regret was waiting so long. I have queer friends who are straight A students and ones who had a hard time graduating, and they are all successful people. Success can look so many different ways, and as queer people, we should know that the path to happiness isn't always on the straight and narrow. One thing I do think is universal, however, about my story is the importance of community. Sometimes it feels like our community is kind of a random jumble. It's this alphabet soup of identities that have a history together, but not much in common. But I can say with confidence that although there are so many ways to fit under this umbrella, there is no way for us to do it without one another. My audition for David Makes Man was my very first audition for a professional acting job, and I didn't get it because I was some sort of genius. I actually had no idea what I was doing. I got the job because people on the other side of that table were also members of this community, and they wanted to see queer and trans people bringing life and truth to queer and trans stories. I am where I am because another gay man made up his mind that his success should lead to all of our success. The LGBT community has survived and thrived and made change in this world because we've had each other's back. Lesbians took care of dying gay men during the AIDS epidemic. Gay men marched in the first ever Dyke March in Washington, D.C. in 1993, holding signs that said, "Go girls, go." And trans women threw bricks for all of us. The way we stay whole as a community and the way we stay safe and keep fighting is by sticking together. When you have extra money, extra food, extra opportunities, you can build a longer table or you can build a higher wall. And the beautiful thing about our community is that historically, we have built one big-ass table where everyone is welcome. Thank you and congratulations to the class of 2020.
Thank you, Logan. Let's see here. Inspirational words. We are really glad to see representation in the media, and we're glad to know that anybody could achieve greatness. Moving forward, I'm sure all of you are familiar with who the next speaker will be. He's our student speaker. He is the former president of the Student Government Association. You've seen him all over campus, and now you're seeing him once again for the final time, hopefully. Here, speaking, Warren Rigby, everybody.
Hello, everyone. And Logan, thank you for sharing your story. It is, the sense of community is important, and the sense of community is what helps us strive to achieve the things that we want to achieve on a daily basis. For members of the LGBTQ community, our community is what is, for most of us, is really kind of what kept us going from point A to point B. Having that person in our corner to be our cheerleader and our spirit person, that no matter what, whether they fully encompassed everything that we go through, they were there as a support system no matter what. So thank you very much for sharing your story. To the class of 2020, congratulations. I am honored to be here to speak with each and every one of you. And to all of those that are supporting us here today, thank you for your continued support on a daily basis and putting your own feelings aside and always supporting every member of our HCCC community, regardless of your beliefs. Good evening, graduates, students, faculty, and loved ones. As the clock struck midnight on December 31st, 2019, it represented the end of one chapter and the beginning of a new one. Students around the world could imagine their dreams of walking across the stage and shaking their college or university president's hand and receiving a diploma as a member of the class of 2020. For me personally, this was a means to an end of all of the hard work that I put into taking my life and education to the next level. Unfortunately, as March began, no one could have ever imagined that we as students would be challenged to the brink as the world was impacted by COVID-19. Education as we knew it would significantly change. Those who loved in-person classes were now forced to transition to a remote setting and had to navigate an online realm they had never imagined. As states, jobs, schools, and so much more closed, so many decided to throw in the towel and wait until it was all over. However, each and every one of you that is sitting before me put in the extra work and prevented COVID-19 from getting in the ways of your dreams of being a graduate. Now the class of 2020 represents one of the most resilient, because even amidst a global pandemic, we didn't let that stop us from achieving our goals. COVID-19 taught me that I am even more resilient than I could have ever imagined, and made me realize now more than ever that I made the right decision to go back to school and change my life and leave an everlasting impact on my community. Growing up in the LGBTQ+ community, I faced discrimination in a time when being gay was still highly taboo. But just like COVID, I refused to let the ideas of simple-minded people control my trajectory. I put in the hard work and was fortunate to find a partner that was not willing to let me settle and take this journey with me to go back to school. Through his love and support, I was able to quit my job and solely focus on school. While each and every one of our stories are different, one thing that COVID has taught me, that community and support is everything. It has a power to change opinions and allow for us to shine. Being a member of the LGBTQ+ community doesn't determine our past, we as individuals do. And while things at times seem unbearable, it is our commitment to ourselves and our loved ones that gives us the strength to prevail. I stand here before you, not just as a gay man, but as Warren RIGBY, a graduate of Hudson County Community College and a member of the class of 2020. I am proud to not only be a member of a community that is willing to stand up for anyone to protect their rights, but to be a member of your graduating class. I am so proud in each and every one of you for not giving up, and I'm honored to be in a room with so many great individuals that will truly change the world one career at a time. In closing, no matter where your journey ends, you are all rock stars, and that is yet again proven here today by all that are attending today's Lavender graduation to celebrate each and every one of you. As a graduate of 2020, you further prove that hard work and determination can overcome anything that you set your mind to. I'd like to leave you with this. One door opens up 1,000,001 possibilities to change the future, your future. Again, I'd like to wish you all the success in the world and congratulations to the class of 2020.
Thank you, Warren. And again, thank you to our two speakers. Your words really impacted our students, and it's phenomenal to see the kind of leadership and representation we have here in this community. That being said, before I pass on the theoretical microphone off to Veronica, I just want to say few house rules. We are trying to be mindful of the time. We will let students have an opportunity to say something at the end, but when your name is called, feel free to unmute yourself and cheer. If you can, if you have anyone with you in your home, if you received your stoles for the graduation, for the Lavender graduation, just ask them to put that on you as we call your name. If not, I'm sorry, I'm not able to run down to your house and do that for you. If it happens that somebody that we call isn't here with us, still continue to unmute yourself and just cheer. We want to show as much support and appreciation as we can. And that being said, I pass the microphone off to Veronica Gerasimo.
Thank you, Tyler. Tyler, do you want to give a little history on Lavender graduations, or do you want me to? Okay.
I'll completely forgot about that. A few things to touch up on before we start. As you know, this is our second annual Lavender graduation. And a few things to note. Obviously, the purpose of this event is so that we can recognize the queer community here at the college. The first Lavender graduation was held in the University of Michigan in 1995. We're trying our best to implement as much as we can to support the community. And a few things, personally, I think it's phenomenal that Hudson County Community College is recognizing the queer community here at the college. And yeah, I look forward to this, even though this is virtual and even though there's no free food, I'm still excited. I'm still ecstatic to be here with all of you. And I'm so happy I can celebrate this with you guys. And again, I pass it off to Veronica Gerasimo.
Awesome. Thank you, Tyler. All right. So as Tyler mentioned, our graduates that are here, you received your rainbow cord to wear along with your regalia now and forever. So if you have that on you, get that ready to go, and we will get started with our students. All right. Our first student, let's recognize Talat Aziz. Talat, I'm not sure if you're here. If you're here, feel free to unmute yourself. Woo! Woo! ALCIA BATCHELOR.
Woo!
Woo!
KORAL Booth. Woo! Coral, you got your cord on you?
I do have my cord on.
Yay! Awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Woo! Steve Bergono.
Woo!
Fatima Bendoud. Métis Castro. I think Métis here. Métis, if you're here, feel free to unmute yourself. Michael Chica Camargo. Angie Shiroki. Mary Claire Elizabeth Decina. Andrew Deach.
Andrew.
Jose Flores. Jose, I saw you, I believe. Diana Gonzalez Argueta.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Diana. Navi Johal. Harley Johnson. Sina Kenna.
The dog.
The dog graduated as well.
Sam.
Woo!
Sam Killian.
Yay!
Yeah.
Yolanda Oliver. Evelyn Ortega. Khadijah Owens.
Woo!
Bianca Petty.
Woo! I miss her.
Anari Ramsey. Carolyn Reyes.
Woo!
Karen Riera.
Woo!
Woo, you got your card.
Woo!
Lauren Rigby.
Woo!
Destiny Rivera. Stephanie Rivera. Melina Schoenbing.
Lena.
Avery Tan.
Woo, Avery!
EOF. EOF. EOF.
Tashana Teixeira. I saw Tashana just come in.
Hey,
Oh. Avery just joined
Hi,
as well.
congratulations.
thank you.
And I think Avery just came in as well.
Yep.
We'll give Avery a shout out. Christine Tirado.
Christine.
Hey, thank you.
Christine, yay.
Christine, we love you.
Karen Urena.
Woo!
Woo.
Alexander Vidal. Tawana Waring. I believe this last one. Amy Whelans.
Woo.
Woo, woo. Oh, a couple more. Lamont Williams.
Woo!
And Memphis Savala. Woo, woo. Thank you all so much. I think I saw Avery pop in. If anybody, any of our graduates want to say anything, the floor is yours, any of our guests as well. We thank you so much for the effort and the work that you have put in, and thank you so much for coming tonight to our second annual Lavender graduation. I too missed the food, but hopefully we got, maybe some Thanksgiving leftover still somewhere. Anybody want to say anything? Not putting anybody on the spot, but I know sometimes the opportunity is not always there.
I would like to say something.
Yeah.
I just want to say congratulations to my fellow graduates and thank you to everyone at Hudson. Hudson has always been a place from the beginning, even when I first walked through the doors, where you could live your truth, speak your truth, and be your truth. You can be your true self no matter who you are, who you feel you are. Everyone at Hudson is accepting of the people that come through the door. So I just want to say thank you for being a home away from home and being the first home for some students. And I know I'm prepared for what the future has to offer me because I was a student at Hudson. So thank you for being a family.
Woo! Coral.
Thank you so much, Coral. Anybody else?
I would just like to say congratulations, everyone. You all inspire me. And I'm very proud to be a member of our family, as well as the larger Hudson family. The evening. Congratulations, everyone.
Thank you so much, Dr. Reber. Anyone else? All right, so with that, I'm going to ask everybody to just unmute. We'll get one big loud cheer, and then we'll finish out the night. So let's give it up for our graduates at the Lavender graduation class of 2020.
All right, everybody.
Everyone have a
Yes.
wonderful evening. Thank you so much for taking your time out and for coming out tonight. And our graduates, we got a lot more celebrations. We'll see you throughout the next 2 weeks and beyond. All right.
All
Thanks
right.
so much, everyone. Have
Take
a
care,
wonderful
everyone.